Hello everyone, Joe from Central Jersey Conrail and N-Scale, and welcome back. So this is episode 17.5. So what I've decided to do is, over the last couple days, I've been getting a lot of questions and comments about the layout. You know, wanting to see Brown's Yard, wanting to see how the switching operations are taking place, seeing how I'm making up trains. And I got to thinking, I think either I'm not explaining properly, and the points, not getting across. But Brown's Yard doesn't exist right now. So then I, started thinking about it more, and I haven't really taken everyone on a walking tour and shown everybody the current status of the layout at this point in construction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everybody through a quick walking tour of the layout. We're going to start in the staging yard, and then we'll progress along through the return loop to the mini helix, up to Sayrehurst, and then back northward all the way to where the large helix will be located. So, all right, so let's get started. Okay, everyone, so here's the staging yard. This is in that closet that's under the stairs. So currently, because Brown's Yard hasn't been constructed, I'm using the staging yard, and I've broken it into 3 separate sections. If you look up there against the wall, track 6, that is the train that is staged to represent the OI-16, and that would be the Oak Island to Brown's Yard transfer run. Then track 5, which is right there, the next track in, that is representing Camden's Pavonia Yard, and that's where the train CA53, which is the freelanced train, the transfer run from Pavonia Yard up to Brown's. Then these other tracks, 4, 3, 2, and 1, those are where I'm staging the various other trains to test up on the layout. The SA35, the SA31, SA37, and so on and so forth. And they're just blocked in there, ready to go, so that I can just pick up the trains and go to run up on the layout. Now, eventually, when we're done and Brown's Yard's constructed, this staging yard will be just for staging trains from Camden and Oak Island. So I'll have 6 run-through trains that'll be staged. Correction, let me rephrase that. There'll be 6 trains staged. One will be the OI-16, one will be the CA53, and then the other 4 will just be run-through trains to traverse through the layout. So this is the staging yard. There's the panel that we built back in episodes 13, and the trains will go out through the throat and through the hole in the layout. Okay, so here what I want to show everyone is that questions have arisen about cars and how many cars I have, and about switching cars on and off the layout, so we don't get that same freight car running around 4 times. So what I've done is I've gotten these storage containers. I've divided them. I've made a little card holder to put the waybills in the front, and then I've divided each box up into bin numbers. Bin 1, 2, and 3 fit in this drawer, 4, 5, and 6 in the next drawer down, and so on and so forth. And then you open up the bins, and then there's the stuff that's off-track storage. So, I have bins in here full of, various other cars to rotate onto the layout. So that's what I've done in here. So now that the staging yard, it has more storage space, and then we just take these cars and then rotate them on. So currently in the configuration, what I've done is flat switching and classification here in the staging yard. It doesn't go that well because there's not much lead in here. So what that means is most of your train ends up going through the hole in the wall, and it's kind of hard to classify when I just don't feel comfortable not seeing my whole train. So what I currently am doing is I'm hand fiddling. So what I'll do is I'll just pick the cars up and move them around in their slots to block out the train, or I'll just pick up the cars from the CA53 and move them over to the various tracks, because this currently right now track 1 is representing the SA37. So if there's any cars from the CA53 that has to be moved over here, I just do it by hand. So it just goes a lot easier, because I was finding going through the wall, if I have a derailment, it kind of complicates the situation. So that's currently the configuration and how the staging yard is being used. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera in this position. I'm going to pan around the room, so this way everybody can get an idea of what is where, just to give everybody a better feeling for the layout. So this corner over here is where the large helix will be, and the start of Brown's Yard. As you can see, there's the control cabinet over there that we built back in episodes 9 and 10, 10 and 11. And then you can see that's where Brown's Yard will be over there into the back. And then here's the peninsula with the dividing wall. And panning over, there's Freehold. And there's Lakewood. And turning down, and then this is Lakehurst. And then right here by the camera, you can see this is the Toms River Industrial. Okay. Okay, so now we're in the corner over by where the large helix will be, over by my toolbox. This is looking at the door to the layout room, and that's the Toms River Industrial. That's the mini helix, Lakehurst, the Lakewood, and Freehold is on this side of the wall that you can't see. Then the track curves around here at the Battle of Monmouth State Park on the end of the peninsula. Track will turn down right now where that power supply is sitting. That will be Englishtown. Track will curve around on that section there, and then right about here will be about where Jamesburg will be. Track will turn, and then this will be where Brown's Yard is. Okay. Okay. So now back to continue our tour. So there's the hole for where the staging yard is. Trains will come out here. Any trains that are going to Lakehurst to head north to represent Camden to Brown's Yard will go this way. And this will be where SA Junction is going to be. As you can see, it still hasn't been constructed. I'm currently working on the control panel. And then there's going to be a Y. I have to cut another hole in the wall because there's another switch inside the staging yard so that any trains coming out of the staging yard can go this way to go up the large helix, which is going to be right in this area here, to pop out into Brown's Yard. And then that'll represent trains coming from Newark to go to Brown's Yard. So that's how this area is going to work out. So we'll follow trains. We'll follow a train coming out of staging that goes to that's coming out of Camden's Pavonia Yard heading towards Lakehurst. So the train will go on this track along the back. So now our train coming out of staging heading towards Lakehurst from Camden's Pavonia Yard will go along this lower level loop on the bottom. Along the back. Right here we're underneath Jamesburg. And go straight through the hole in the peninsula wall and go that way. Now continuing to follow our train from staging to Lakehurst, it traverses underneath. This will be underneath Lakewood on the lower level. This is underneath Lakehurst. And then it will proceed under and into the helix. So now our train will head up the helix and it will come out over here underneath the Route 37 overpass, proceed north over Union Ave and Lakehurst under the Route 70 overpass, up the main line of the Sayrehurst Secondary, passing the Glidden Spur in Jackson, crossing over Route 88 in Lakewood, passing Danassos, then passing Toth, which is the diversion of the Southern Secondary into staging, coming down through Freehold, passing the Freehold Lumberyard and the team track, under the Route 9 overpass, and then traversing the curve at the Battle of Monmouth State Park, which is on the end of the peninsula. Then our train will continue on down through Englishtown, curving there and coming into Jamesburg, then turning down here past Brown's Yard. Okay, so this whole section here is going to be Brown's Yard. It's going to be 8 tracks. it'll end back in the corner of the layout back here in this corner here, and then come all the way out here. There'll be a switching lead which will proceed all the way down, probably from this point all the way to the beginning of the helix. So this way you'll have a yard lead to do your classifications and not interrupt any traffic on the main line. So the Browns yard is going to be 8 tracks. It's also going to have a passing siding. And then the diversion of the Gillespie branch will probably be right about here, where that little 45-degree angle is right there. And then it'll curve off here to go up against this wall where the Gillespie branch will run over the top of all this stuff here, which still has to be moved. Okay, so there you go. So there's the walking tour and the status of the layout. This is, where we are currently at this time. So, the staging yard was really designed to be a fiddle yard to begin with, and that was, for the staging yard operator to be able to, move those cars on and off the layout by hand, and it was never really designed for flat classification. So that's really why I'm just doing it the way I am. And probably a lot of you are like, well, why are you even bothering, with operations? And like I indicated in earlier videos, is because, I really want to start getting a feel for the traffic flow and how many cars, and, is this whole thing going to work? Is this whole experiment, the Sayrehurst Secondary, going to make sense? And is it going to run right? And I don't want to get too heavily involved and in construction. I mean, we've done a lot of work already. It would kind of stink to say, I'm going to scrap the whole thing. But I wanted to get testing as soon as possible to test these areas to say, hey, Lakewood isn't working out right, I need to modify it, or the SA37 doesn't make sense, so I need to change that train. So that's why I'm jumping into these operations, even though I don't have a classification yard. So, and I think it's working out really well and working out to my benefit, because so far everything I've tested and everything I've done is working out the way I envisioned it. So I don't see any major problems at this point moving forward. So I hope that clears up a lot of questions and a lot of concerns out there, because over the last couple of videos, the last week or two, there's been a lot of the same questions popping up. So, and it's just easier for me to jump on the camera and do a quick video and explain to you my thoughts than to sit there and to type, because it just typing, and it just, you don't get your point across, I feel. So, okay. So, hope everybody enjoyed this little quick tour. I hope it clears up a lot of points, and I'm going to get back to work because I want to get this SA control panel built, and we'll see you next time, episode 18. Thanks for watching.